So the adidas Terrex Free Hiker boots are some of my favorite ones on the market. They're super comfortable as well as lots of added protection when you have the GORE-TEX versions. And so I wanted to give you guys kind of a look at the latest and greatest versions. So this is a Terrex Free Hiker 2 GORE-TEX version. Absolutely love that one. And previously we also had the Terrex Free Hiker COLD.RDY version, but now we have a new one. This is a Terrex Free Hiker 2 COLD.RDYs. So this one actually is a little bit different than the predecessor here, but I want to let you guys know some of the things I like and dislike and which one I prefer out of these 3 sneaker boots. Anyways, big shout out to Adidas for sending this pair over to me. I did not buy these ones, but they don't dictate anything I say in the video. I just basically get to post the content around some of the stuff that they send over. And I personally reached out to them to send these over because I love the predecessors and I love the Terrex Free Hiker 2s as well. So like the second version, it's just fun to be able to see the small evolution of really expensive pairs of footwear. So these are $260, which is definitely a lot of money. One thing that they changed about these over the previous version is that this one actually calls out being GORE-TEX. I don't know, maybe they had a GORE-TEX version of these as well, but I had the first colorway that released much ahead of the pack and it didn't have GORE-TEX branding, but they were water resistant. This one does have the GORE-TEX branding all over it. Let's give you some words about Adidas says about the product and then we'll give you guys kind of a more an overview. So it says waterproof insulated hiking shoes made in part with recycled materials. Explore cold days with confidence in these Adidas Terrex Free Hiker 2 COLD.RDY hiking shoes. With a waterproof, breathable GORE-TEX membrane and COLD.RDY with PrimaLoft insulation, they help you enjoy every moment outdoors. Part lightweight hiker and part winter boot, these shoes combine a stretchy ripstop upper with energy returning boost cushioning. Take on the conditions with Continental WinterGrip Rubber outsole that grips to snow and ice. Made with a series of recycled materials, this upper features at least 50% recycled content. Now, first impressions right out of the box, it definitely has the same outsole traction and the same midsole as the Terrex Free Hiker 2s. The main difference is the upper and the construction of how they brought together this upper. Obviously, it's much more confined here because you have the zipper here as well as a little bit of a Velcro section to really lock yourself into these boots. I think stylistically, the boots look really nice as well. Obviously, really sleek and crazy how it just comes up with the zip. Very similar to the previous one, but also quite a bit different because you have the zip in the front versus the zip up the side. And personally, I like the zip up the front a little bit better, but it is nice to have that extra reinforcement of the Velcro on the side. But the other major difference from the first one is obviously they updated the outsole and the midsole of the boot. Because this is the same outsole and midsole as the Terrex Free Hikers, the first version, the second version has the updated midsole and traction and whatnot. And the traction on the second version is much, much beefier than the first version. So if you like the first version, but it didn't have enough traction on the bottom of your foot, the second version definitely is way, way crazier. And you sit higher on the second version as well. If you did like the front zip on the first version though, they did change that up on the second. The other thing that they changed up on the second version that I'm not 100% sure I'm a fan of is on the inside. I really like this first version because you had this stretchy little liner here and you can just slide your foot in here and you can hold on the back tab here and just pop your foot in here and you're good to go. You didn't even have to zip up the shroud. You could wear these casually just like this and it was easy to wear and I thought it looked good. On the second version with the side zip, it kind of flaps out a little bit like this and so it doesn't look as good in my opinion as the first version when you wear it loose. It's not too bad, but it is something to note. Also, the other change that some people might not like is the tongue section. It's definitely easier to slide on your foot because of the added room here where the tongue is and you can see, but the downside is the bulkiness of these laces. It's kind of nice you have a lace enclosure that you can pull, like kind of like a quick release sort of thing like the snowboard boots, and then you tuck that in here and then you zip it up and put the strap on. But the problem is the laces are a little bit bulkier and you can kind of feel it as it presses down as you zip up the upper. So if you want that waterproof upper, you really are forced to zip these up and then put these all in and lock them in as secure as you can. And again, they're a little bit bulky in this section right here where the laces are. So some people I'm sure aren't gonna like that. The other version was really nice because again, this mesh was just simple, stretchy, a little bit harder to get on, but you had the back loop here to help you get them on your feet and you don't have that loop on the second version anymore. So overall, there's a lot of big upgrades over the previous one, but there's a couple setbacks as well. The upgrades, as I mentioned, the traction is super nice. The Adidas Boost in the midsoles of these things are pretty incredible. Like it feels good. It's not too soft and squishy. There's enough bounce there that it feels like you have good cushioning, but the stability is really there as well, which I really like. So that and the traction I really like. And the waterproofness of the upper is incredible. Like it's super, super waterproof. I sprayed the hose on these for a couple minutes and they didn't, like not even a drop of water got through them. It was really, really good. But the side zip and the laces might be enough to throw people off and want to go with other options out there, which honestly, this is a really good option. Anytime these are like under 150 bucks, I always post these because this is like the best bang for the buck. I mean, $260 for this, which is great. Same outsole, midsole traction. When these are on sale for like 150 bucks, though, the GORE-TEX version specifically, you can't really beat it. Like it's a really incredible sneaker boot for the price point at $150 or so. I've even posted it lower than that, but really that's like the sweet spot. And if you need something for you know, pumpkin patches, Christmas trees. I actually wore these in a snow park in Utah during Thanksgiving last year, and I wore them in the snow and stuff. It was really, really good. But the new cold ready versions are super nice, and they're warm inside as well. The insulation on these are really nice, and overall it's a really good experience on feet. The only other thing that I would mention is the sizing. I went true to size. I would say that they fit true to size, but you do feel a little bit of snugness in the toe box section of the boots. I would say it's probably still the right size, even though you have that extra snugness, but I just wanted to call that out for myself. If you guys do want to buy a pair of these, I'll link them in the description of the video. I'll also link these guys as well, something that I think is a really, really good solid alternative. I also did a review of the low top version of these that just released that I really, really like as well. It's a low top waterproof GORE-TEX version, super, super nice. But these are probably the best sneaker boots on the market, in my opinion, that I just constantly buy year after year. It's just one of the best ones out there. And then the updated crazy versions, super nice. I mean, if you can afford it and you want to pay the $260 and you want something like this, I've given you some pros and cons about what I think about the product. Overall, it's an excellent choice. It's just some adjustments might need to be made if you've had the previous version or if you're not used to being able to zip up the boot like that. If you guys have more questions that I maybe did not get to in this video, leave a comment in the comment section. I can try to answer it. Anybody that sees questions that you know the answer to, feel free to chime in. But have a good one. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching again, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more content soon. All right, peace, guys.